Hey guys, welcome to the Real W Dad. So today's project is, I cannot get the Stark Varg to charge. So I've been trying to charge it for the last couple weeks. It's down to 22% battery life. Let me show you. Look at that, 22%. Yellow light, won't charge. Normally, the Stark Varg comes with a stand and this charger is built into it. It's got like a big triangle that goes over the top of it. But I took it out of that because I wanted it mounted on the wall just like this, and I didn't want to use that stand because it's actually kind of hard to get the bike and then lift it onto the stand. So this stand, it just automatically lifts. So instead of doing the other stand that this comes in, I just use this stand right here. I don't need to do anything for this stand, but I just wanted to show you it. This lifts it up and down, makes it easy on the old dad. So yeah, this is how I have it set up here. So over here, this is where it charges in, and you can see I just unplugged it. Something kicked off and now it turned it off. So somehow it knows power is connected to it, but for whatever reason, it's not charging. So plug it in again. Let's see if it turns on. Turn it on. I hear a click. It's flashing green, meaning it's ready to go. It doesn't think that it's plugged in right now. But if okay, now it does think it's plugged in because now it's got a yellow light. This should be blue. So something's happening. It knows that it's connected, but it doesn't take the charge. So this is the charger. So this is the normal plug that I use. This charges at 240 volts. Original 110 adapter that they provide you from Stark. This is the plug. So I tried two different plugs now. It won't charge off my 240 and it won't charge off my 110. Both of them have power just like they're supposed to. I don't think it's power coming in. So it leads me to believe that it's power inside the box here. So my next thing today that I'm going to do is I'm going to take apart this charger and see if I can find something inside of it that is bad. So we'll see. All right, so to take this off, it looks like it's a bunch of maybe a T35 or something to get in there and take that cover off. T30. Okay, there's all the bolts out of there. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 bolts are on there. Wow, there's nothing to that. Let me show you what's inside. It's got a CPU fan on the top, cooler, and then where all the cables go in. This looks kind of ghetto. That's going out to the charger. So I'm looking in here and I'm thinking this right here is really all this charger consists of. I don't know why I have it in this giant contraption when it's really just this is the only thing that I'm using. So I don't really need this whole thing. So I think I'm gonna take this out and just use it. I've got it mounted to this frame right now, but it doesn't need to be. There's 2 bolts on the bottom. I'm gonna take those out. So those are the same 2 T30s, but there's a total of 4. So 1 here, and then 2 in the back. All right, so I got all 4 of those out now. So now this thing should be loose. Oh yeah. There it is. It's literally all it is. Made in China. I don't know if anybody's ever actually pulled one of these apart. So it's 90 to 264 volt, 47 to 63 hertz, 16 amps, 100 to 430 volts. Output charger, 10 amps. So let me see if I can get this to turn on. It's got a light in the back here. 10%, 80%. I feel like it might have something to do with this wiring. Seems kind of ghetto. All right, I'm gonna try to plug it in now and see what happens. Okay, something just clicked. It's flashing red. Can you see that? Okay, now it's flashing. Now it's charging. Okay, so it must be a loose wire over here or something because I did nothing. All I did was pull it out and now it's charging. So just there, live, you just saw it work for no reason. So my guess is one of these wires, I wonder if I move it around if it'll stop. Don't love touching the wiring. So yeah, this thing has not worked for the last couple of weeks, and just now I didn't do anything but pull it out of the box, and now it's working. So it leads me to believe that one of these connections is loose, and right now it's got power going through it. It's 110, so it's not no big 240 power. It's working now. So I could just say screw it, it's working, I don't need to do anything else. But I think there's still a fault, because I've been trying this for the last couple weeks to get it to work, and it wouldn't. I may end up just keeping it out and may put this box away, because I don't need it, and it's honestly kind of inconvenient. Look at this. I mean, this thing only takes up that much space instead of taking up that much space. I'm gonna let this charge for a little bit. So it's charging. We're at 25% already, but I think I'm gonna make it go even faster. I'm gonna hook it up to the 240 and let it charge up quickly. I haven't been able to use this thing forever, so I'm excited about finally being able to ride it again. So to do that, I'm gonna use this plug, take off this 110 plug, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this too. There's the cover for that. Pretty neat looking cover, to be honest with you. It says Stark Future right on there. And now it's broken. Just kidding. All right, get this bad boy plugged in. So now this is gonna be the big power. All right, so now I got it cranked up all the way. It's at 3.3 kW charge rate. Just because I want it to go a little faster, I'm gonna do a little time lapse, show the percentage going boop, 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 up nice and quick. Make sure this charger can handle it. Let it charge up, and then I think I'm gonna look at mounting that in a new spot. All right, while I wait for that to charge up, I'm gonna do a little cleaning. I haven't cleaned this bumper in a long time. So this bumper came from a crazy little story. So I used to have a C5 Z06 Corvette, and I'll put a picture of it right here. So I had a C5 Z06 Corvette, and I put a P1 Pro Charger on it. So at the time, this is quite a few years ago, it was making 605 horsepower, which was a pretty good amount of power for the time. Well, I raced this Dodge Viper, ended up crashing my C5 Z06. And when I did, I ended up pulling the bumper off of it. It was cheaper to not go through insurance, and I just paid for everything out of pocket. The nice thing about a Corvette is most of the exterior panels are fiberglass, and they're all bolted on. So you can pretty much unbolt everything and replace them with new. So what I ended up doing was almost all the panels on the cars were messed up. So I was just able to take off the panels, put on new panels, and then I just had the whole car repainted. So this is the old bumper that I got to keep. Dang, I think it's dirty. Look at that. I haven't wiped it in a while. It looks like basically they just took electrical tape and just taped it around the whole thing. I can disconnect these connectors. Those are some type of a fancy quick connect. So I'll disconnect all those, and then it'll leave me free, and then I'll explore it. So we'll do that next. All right, and we're back. So I got the bike all charged up. Put it to, I forgot to put the charge rate. I maxed it out at 83%. So it stopped at 83%, but I got that, that's all charged up. I charged it at a fast rate just because I did this time lapse and I wanted the numbers to go up. Thought it'd be kind of cool. Hopefully it turns out good. I'm still messing around with Final Cut Pro, trying to figure that out. Hopefully I can do something kind of fun and just we'll show the numbers go really quick. But that's the reason I charge it at a fast rate. Normally I don't like to do that. You don't want to put heat into the batteries. And when you charge at a high rate of speed, it creates a lot of heat. Next thing I want to do is I want to try to get this just by itself. I want to cut apart this wiring and see what it looks like, but right now it's live at 240 volts. So I'm going to disconnect it. So we got it disconnected now. I still got a light on there, so it still has some residual power, I would assume. But this is kind of cool because I think I can just disconnect this plug. Oh, it's a little warm. I don't know what kind of plug. Oh, pull it. Hey, look at there. So one of those plugs, the whole AC side of the charger is unplugged. So now I unplug the part out of the bike. So I'm gonna take these over to the bench and we'll work on it over there. All right, so now I got the charger over here on the bench. Still got some warm, still pretty warm. So you got the input plug, output plug, and the signal plug. So I'm thinking that it has to do with this output plug. Something inside of this, it appears to be kind of ghetto put together with electrical tape. So I'm gonna try just undoing the electrical tape and seeing if I can find anything blaringly obviously wrong with it. Because I think this is the problem. Something here. It's a giant freaking fuse. Well, I know it's just 2 wires, so that's good. And it appears that inside of here is a 32 amp fuse. So right now I'm just trying to get the rest of this electrical tape off without cutting the wire. All right, so I wanted to show you guys this. So this is where it says, do not disconnect. And then over here it says, fuse, max 32 amps. So then you just got 2 wires going into this thing. And then I don't know how to open it. It looks like there's a little window on this side and a little window on this side. So I'm gonna try just getting a little flat tip screwdriver in there. Okay. So there we go. All I did was push down on that, if you saw that in the video. So there's a small little clip right here. And all I did was push down on that, and that pulled the whole fuse out of there. And as you can see, that fuse looks perfectly intact. And down inside there, it looks perfectly fine. Okay, open up this connector. So inside of here, the wires are good, and it's all glued in there. So that's what it looks like on the inside of there. So I'm gonna assume all the connections on this side are still good. Seems really overkill for these 2 tiny little wires, but it is what it is. All right, so signal wire, that seems fine. This is what it looks like on the inside of the signal wire. It looks like there's just using 2 wires on the inside of here too. I'm gonna take this this shroud off the top. I don't think I really need it. Okay, that's pretty good, just like that. So now all I gotta do is put that other connector back on there and then figure out how I wanna mount this. All right, so now the next thing I'm gonna do is remove this box. So I put some screws in the bottom of this to hold it, a little piece of aluminum in place. Here's the charger for the ETM Electro & Co. There it is. So I don't need this box anymore. It's kind of bulky. So now I'm thinking, kind of go back to how I had it before. Something like this. So a piece of aluminum here and a little piece of aluminum here. And then I'll just have the thing sit right there with the other charger right next to it. Okay, so as with every project, you have a little bit of things that you didn't think you were gonna encounter. So this one, I had a piece of aluminum on top of here when I originally put that whole charging box up here. But like I said, it was big, it was bulky, it was heavy. It probably didn't dissipate the heat very well because it was all enclosed in that box. What I was gonna do was keep that piece of aluminum, but it's too short. So what I'm now gonna do is I have a bunch of spare wood, but I don't really wanna use wood because of how much heat the charger generates. So I'm gonna use this marine grade plastic. This is really good stuff, really expensive stuff actually. I think I found this somewhere, had it as a nice little project. So I'm gonna cut this down to size. I'm gonna use 2 pieces, make like a perfect little shelf here. And that way I can put the electro and co-charger over here on one side, and then the Stark Varg charger over here. So that'll make it kind of nice. I've never really had a good setup for that. So I'm going to cut this down to size. There it is. Perfect fit. So now I'm trying to think if I want to put a little bit of extra out here. I think I will. So I wanted to cut this down a little bit so that it fit right on here. Now there's a couple of little divots in this thing. You can see them right there. So that's how they put these two together. And so I'm just gonna drill a little hole out right there on those. There we go. Made some perfect little detents in there. Let's see how well it lines up. Okay. So now the only thing I had to do is put a couple of small screws in the bottom. And it's good to go. There we go. It's not too bad. It's got a little dip to it. You can see here. I should have put these two pieces together, put a little connector in between the two of them, but that's all right. It's fine. So now I'm thinking this will be the charger here. That reaches to the bike where I normally park it. And I may be able to zip tie this up to the bracket because I really don't want tension hanging on these little tiny little wires. So that's probably what I'll do. I'll put a zip tie around right here, or somehow try to make that look good. I'm going to put these little screws in so that it holds the front in place so this doesn't slide around. All right, as you can see, I'm a pretty visual guy. I don't really like to measure much. So I'm gonna do one little hole right here. Seems about right. It's kind of like that claw game. You gotta line up the claw. So this time I'm just lining up my drill hole. Perfect. That's it right there. Boy, there's the first one. So now the second one, this is where you can really screw yourself. Do I risk trying to go for it, or do I measure this one out? I think you just risk it. Yeah. See that lifted up? Money. Now hopefully these screws are long enough. Shoot. They are not. So what that means, I'm gonna take the washers off of them. I'm gonna get a larger drill bit and recess that down in a little bit. Use my little Christmas tree bit. Perfect. There's one. That's not going anywhere. Okay, so there's that side. Now I got this whole other side for the other charger. This one doesn't really have a mount. I guess I'm just gonna set it up here. Figure out a way to put this in here so it doesn't look so ghetto. Maybe hide it, something like that. There we go. So I zip tied it under there so it wasn't hanging out. These wires aren't getting chafed right there. There's not a huge load on them. This fuse is still accessible. I gotta plug the other outlet back in. This cord will just hang maybe right there or something like that. Get a little hook for it. Okay, now let's see after all that work if it still worked. I'm gonna plug this in back into the charger. Let's see those two separate. I wish I would have secured those together. It should be fine though. All right, so I'll plug this in. No sparks, that's good. Take this bad boy, plug it in. I plugged it in. Now I'm going to bump up the charger so it charges it to 86%. Okay, fan kicked on. All right, so the air pulls down through these heat sinks and it's charging up perfectly fine. I changed the battery charge to 88%. It's at 83 right now and it just kicked on perfectly fine. It's a good spot for it. It's up off the mount. It's charging. I'm happy. So I don't know if there was a loose connection in there or what exactly was the problem. But if you have something similar to this, all you have to do is take it completely apart and use it just like this. It might have been a loose connection on that fuse. That's the only thing I can think of because it's literally 2 wires. They were the ones that I think were the problem. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.